All right, I think I'm going to be all right for the rest of the night here. I hope.
All right. All right. I move that we reconvene this meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. Commissioner Toya seconds. Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes. We are back. And next up is calendar number 387-22-Z. This is 5150 South Avers. Okay, and if there are any supporters or objectors, please raise your hand and we will get you promoted. We've got Councilor Pleca. Can see we have Maricela. How many witnesses do you have for this one, Councilor?
I have two, Maricela and Mario, Mr. Chairman. Mario Cruz, you should see Mario Cruz somewhere.
Okay.
The architect.
Okay, let's see here.
I just promoted him, Chairman.
Okay, great. Great. All right, let me get, I'll start with Maricela. Can you state your name and address, please?
Sure. My name is Maricela Tinoco, address 1616 South Throop Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60608.
And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. And Mario, could you state your name and address, please?
Yes, of course. Mario G. Cruz, 2450 West Division Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60622.
And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you. Counselor, there are no objectors. I've been telling everybody, we have reviewed everything, so you can do the short form and then we'll open it up for board questions.
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone, on this late Friday evening. Thank you so much for putting up with us and staying until the end. My name is Agnes Pleca. I'm an attorney with law firm of Jaffe & Berlin, located at 111 West Washington, Chicago. And I represent the applicants, Maricela Tinoco and Ivan Calderon, who are also the owners of this property. And very simply, this is a double lot, 60 feet of frontage along Avers, and it's currently improved with a very small one-story single-family home built 70 years ago with only 890 square feet of floor area, and it has existing legal non-conforming setbacks under the current regulations of RS2. So we have a north side setback of 2.49, front setback of 24, and south side setback of 33, which is actually the largest side setback on this block. And the applicants proposing to preserve this building, rehab the building, but also to build an upper story addition and a rear two-story addition to provide some bedrooms on the upper floors for their family. and a larger kitchen and living room on the ground floor. And of course, the building, the additions have to follow the existing walls. And since we have those non-conforming setbacks, this is the variation that it's being triggered, and that's what we're asking here today. And with that, I'm going to ask Maricela to state her name and address again for the record.
Yes, my name is Maricela Tinoco, address 1616 South Troop Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60608.
And you and your husband are the owners of this property?
Yes,
And you are proposing to rehab and preserve and build some additions to actually make this building your dream home. Is that true?
correct.
And you're also proposing to replace front entry stairs with a little bit bigger landing, which will be extending by 1.22 foot into the front setback, but that's going to be more safe and maneuverable for your family and guests. Is that true?
Yes,
So actually, because we have those existing non-conforming features, those next non-conforming features create particular hardships for you and your family. Is that true?
correct. Strict compliances with the side and front setback requirement and will prevent us from adding additional floor area to the existing house. In a cost-effective manner, the only alternative would be to demolish the existing building and build a new single-family home, excuse me, which would be very costly and not economically viable for our family.
Thank you, Maricela. And you signed the affidavit which contain your statements addressing all the criteria for the variations which we submitted to the board?
Yes,
And if I continue to question you, will your testimony be consistent with those statements in the affidavit?
yes.
Thank you. That is all that I have for her. And Mario, very quickly, state your name and address.
Mario G. Cruz, 2450 West Division Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60622.
Thank you, sir. And you are a licensed architect,
Yes,
and you've been involved with this project from the early stages, so you know the peculiar and unique circumstances surrounding this project.
that's correct. Yes,
And you heard me describing the existing non-conforming features of the house which cause site planning hardships. Do you agree with that?
that's correct. Yes,
Okay. And Mario, you also signed an affidavit which contain your statements addressing all the criteria for these variations. Is that true?
true, correct.
And if I continue to question you, will your testimony be consistent with the statements contained in your affidavit?
Yes,
Thank you, sir. And that is all that I have of these witnesses. This is a fairly straightforward case, but we are very happy to answer any questions that the board members may have.
Thank you, everyone. Any questions from the board? We have what we need. We're going to take it under advisement.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. guys.
Okay, next up is calendar numbers 388-22-S and 389-22-Z. This is 4021 South Langley. If you are here in objection or support, please raise your hand and we will get you promoted.
And Mr. Chairman, I should have three witnesses on this one: Anthony White, Andy Kaczynski, and Joe Ryan.
Okay. See Anthony, I see Andy, and I see Joe. Yeah, we got them all. Let me get them sworn in. Anthony, if you could unmute and then state your name and address, please.
Yes, Anthony White, 4541 South Michigan Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 60653.
And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. And Andy, could you state your name and address, please?
Hi, my name is Andy Kaczynski, 705 Divan Avenue, Park Ridge, Illinois.
And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. And Joe Ryan has been sworn in today, and his expertise has been recognized. And again, let me just scan here. No objectors have raised their hand, so you are free to do the short form.
And Mr. Chairman, do we have a recommendation from the Department of
Thank you.
Planning?
Thank you, Counselor. Yes, we do.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, this is the, it's right in front of my face and I forget to read it. All right.
It's
Uh,
8:20, Mr. Chairman.
This is the recommendation for calendar number 388-22-S. The Department of Planning and Development recommends approval to establish a residential use below the second floor for a proposed single-family residence with attached two-car garage, provided the development is consistent with the design and layout of the plans and drawings dated May 11, 2022, prepared by ProPlan Architects PC.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you.
And with that, just very simply to digest the relief that we're asking here today, it's a currently vacant lot situated on a short block in a leftover C1-2 zoning district, but it's surrounded by RT4 and RM5 residential district to the north, south, and to the west. And as you know, C1 district allows residential dwelling units above the ground floor, but of course requires special use for a dwelling unit on the ground floor. So ironically, we could actually build a tavern or a liquor license by right, but yet we need to have this special use to build a two-story single-family home. Also unique circumstances, this property is a substandard and irregular lot with only 70 feet of lot depth along its north property line, 87 feet of lot depth along its south property line. And we also have a rear property line running at a sharp angle, which all of this causes planning hardships and of course triggers the rear setback variation. And we're asking from 30 feet required to 9.83 proposed. Although if you take a look at the site plan, we actually have a rear setback ranging from 25 feet at its southmost corner to 9.63 feet at its northmost corner. So very simply, without the special use, we would not be able to have this single family home. And without the variation, again, the 30-foot rear setback is just a very harsh provision in commercial districts. We would not be able to build a residential building on this lot. And with that, I would like to call Andy. Andy, can you please state your name and address again for the record?
My name is Andy Kaczynski, 705 Divan Avenue, Park Ridge.
And Andy, you are the project architect, so you are very familiar with the subject area and the subject property.
That's correct. Mhm.
And as you heard me describing, we are proposing to redevelop this property with a two-story single-family home with less than 1,700 square feet of floor area. And you did have site planning hardship due to the substandard lot and the designation of the property as a C1-2 district. Is that true?
That's true.
Okay. And Andy, you also believe that this proposed special use, meaning allowing this property to be developed with a single-family home, will be in the interest of public convenience
Yes,
and will not harm or adversely impact the community or adjacent properties?
I will not.
Okay. And you also signed an affidavit which contain your statements as to all the criteria for the special use and the variation. Is that true?
Yes. Yes, that's true.
And if I continue to question you, will your testimony be consistent with those statements contained in your affidavits?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Anthony, would you please state your name and address again for the record?
Yes, Anthony White, 4541 South Michigan,
Thank you,
Chicago,
sir.
Illinois.
And you are the manager for JA Development Group LLC, which is
I
the
am,
owner
yes.
of the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you are proposing to redevelop this vacant substandard lot with two-story single-family house, and you also propose to live at the property after this construction is completed?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, and you also discussed this project with your neighbors, with the Grand Boulevard Community Organization and Alderman's office, and you received their support?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, and Anthony, you signed an affidavit which contain your statements addressing all the criteria for both the special use and variation?
Yes, that's correct.
And if I continue to question you, will your testimony be consistent with your statements contained in those affidavits?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you, sir. And finally, Joe Ryan, would you please state your name?
Joseph Ryan, R-Y-A-N.
Thank you, sir. And Joe, did you prepare an exhibit in connection with your testimony here today?
I did.
which includes your qualifications in written form.
Yes,
And you are very familiar with the property, but because you obviously had to survey it and inspect it in preparation of that report.
I am.
And in your opinion, is the special use in the interest of public convenience?
It is.
And if I continue to question you, Joe, would your testimony be consistent with your opinions expressed in your report?
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. And that is all that I have of my witnesses. We are open for questions.
Thank you. Questions from the board? We have what we need. We're going to take it under advisement.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next up is 390-22-S and 391-22-Z. This is 2329 West Fullerton.
And on this one, Mr. Chairman, I should have also three witnesses, Orest Gerchek, John Hanna, and also Joe Ryan.
And if there are any supporters or objectors, please raise your hand and we will get you promoted. All right, I can see we have Orest, we have John Hanna, and we have Joe Ryan. Orest, if you could unmute and then state your name and address, please. Orest, it looks like you're unmuted now. If you could state your name and address, please.
Yes, Orest Gerchek, 1N650, Burr Oak Road, out of West Chicago.
Mr. Orest, you're too far away from your mic. We cannot hear you.
Yeah,
Let me see if I can bring it up a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm not sure if I can do it any better. Is it any better right now?
it's a little better.
Hmm.
All right,
Are
let's
you
try
able
this.
to volume it up maybe, Orest? Can you try that?
Yeah, I'll just second. Let me try something really quick. How about now? Is that any better?
It's better. Let's see here. Oh, now we're getting feedback though.
I try something different. Is that better?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, we're gonna see if we can do this. All right, Orest, please state your name and address, please.
Yeah, my name is Orest Gerchek. I'm from 1N650 Burr Oak Road, out of West Chicago, Illinois, 60185.
Donna, can you catch that? Our court reporter.
I need the address one more time.
We
The
need the,
street, it sounds like Old Oak or something like that.
650 Burr, Burr.
Burr.
That's correct. Burr Oak. As a tree, oak tree.
Okay, Burr Oak. Got you. Okay, Orest, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
I do.
Okay, thank you. John, Hannah, have I sworn you in today already?
Yes, you have.
Okay, great. And Joe Ryan has been sworn in and his expertise has been recognized. There are no objectors, Counselor, so short form, please.
Absolutely. First things first, Agnes Pleka, again, for the record.
Oh.
Since we filed these applications, the applicant has decided to scale down this project and revise the proposed plans from 4-story, 5 dwelling units to a 3-story and only 4 dwelling units. And we did file these revised plans with the Board of Appeals and Department of Planning, and the applicants asked to proceed on those revised plans, which were dated October 20th. And those plans no longer require a variation. So the applicant is withdrawing the MLA variation for the 5th dwelling units, and we are only asking to proceed on the special use, Mr. Chairman. Is that acceptable?
Yes, that is acceptable. And let me read the recommendation for the special use, but just to confirm, so 391-22-Z is withdrawn?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, and with regard to calendar number 390-22-S, the Department of Planning and Development recommends approval to establish residential use below the 2nd floor for a proposed 3-story, 4 dwelling unit building, provided the development is consistent with the design and layout of the plans and drawings dated October 20th, 2022, all prepared by Hannah Architects, Inc. Okay, and we are, all right, we are good to go.
All right, thank you, sir. This property located in C1-2 district with multi-unit residential buildings directly adjacent to the east. We also have RT4 district also to the east, and then RS3 district directly to the south. This property is currently vacant, but previously was improved with a commercial building built lot line to lot line. Zoning map still shows this massive building. Under the existing C1-2, this property could be actually developed by right with 4-story, 50-foot high mixed use with 5 units, which would be 1 commercial unit on the ground floor and 4 dwelling units on the upper floor. However, there is no demand for commercial units on this stretch of Fullerton. So the applicant is basically asking to substitute that commercial unit that would have been required on the ground floor with a dwelling unit, just like the residential buildings adjacent to the east. And with that, very quickly, John Hanna, state your name and address for the record.
John Hanna, President of Hanna Architects, Inc., 180 West Washington, Chicago, Illinois.
And John, you are the project architect, correct?
Correct.
And you prepared the plans, so you're in professional opinion, this proposed special use to allow a dwelling unit on the ground floor at this property complies with all the applicable standards of the zoning ordinance?
It does.
Okay, and it's also in the interest of the public convenience?
Correct.
And I prepared an affidavit with your statements addressing all the criteria for this special use, correct?
That's correct.
And we submitted that to the board. Is that true?
Yes.
And if I continue to question you, will your testimony be consistent with the statements contained in your affidavit?
It would.
Okay, thank you, sir. Orest, let's try you again. State your name and address. Orest, we can't hear you. You have to do better.
No, I don't know how, what else I can do. I put everything on the maximum in here. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
1M650 Burr Oak Road, Chicago, Illinois, 60185.
Okay, and you are the manager for 2327 Fullerton LLC, the applicant in this special use?
Correct.
And you also own the property, correct? Orest, you also own the property, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and just to make it simple, you have signed an affidavit which contained your statements addressing all the criteria for this special use. Is that true?
Yes.
And if I continue to question you, will your testimony be consistent with your statements in that affidavit?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all that I have of you. Joe, would you please state your name again?
Joseph M. Ryan, President of the Sale Appraisal Group, with offices at 9455 South Horn Avenue in Chicago.
Thank you, sir. And did you prepare an exhibit in connection with this, with your testimony for this case here today?
Yes.
And are you familiar with the property and the surrounding neighborhood?
I am.
And you are aware that he's proposing a 3-story, 4-unit residential building for this vacant parcel?
Yes.
And do you believe that commercial use on the ground floor would not be in the interest of the public convenience?
No, because there's numerous vacant storefronts in existing buildings in the immediate area.
Thank you, sir. And Joe, if I continue to question you, would your testimony be consistent with your opinions expressed in your report?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That is all that I have of that witness. Mr. Chairman, I apologize for these technical difficulties. That's the last thing you want to be faced with at this late hour. So thank you for your patience.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It happens. All right. Any questions from the board? We have what we need. We will take this under advisement.
Thank you, sir. And commissioners, please have a good weekend after you recover of this today. Thank you
You
so
as well.
much.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Next up is calendar 392-22-S. This is 4241 West 63rd. If you are here in support or objection, please raise your hand and we will get you promoted.
John?
Good afternoon, good evening, good night.
All right, hold on. We're trying, let me see here. I'm trying to promote.
Salvador.
I'm here. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Who's speaking? Oh, you're muted now.
Salvador, please state your name.
Yeah, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yes, please state your name and address, please.
My name is Salvador Jacobo. My address is 6137 West 63rd Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60638.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And then John, am I right that your only other witness is Joe Ryan?
Correct.
Okay, and he has been sworn and his expertise has been recognized. Allow me to read the recommendation from the Department of Planning and Development. This is the recommendation for 392-22-S. The Department of Planning and Development recommends approval of the proposed nail salon. And John, there are no objectors. Please do the short form.
I will make it as simple as possible.
Thank you.
The property involved is 4241 West 63rd Street. It is owned by Salvador Jacobo. It is improved with a 2-story building. The first floor has traditionally been commercial, and the second floor has been residential. Salvador owns the building, and his wife is a registered and licensed cosmetologist. So he would like, and she would like, to introduce to this site a nail salon. It will have 3 employees, including his wife. The hours of operation will be from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. There will be 3 employees. All of them will be licensed. And I would like to ask Salvador. Salvador, did I prepare on your behalf an affidavit containing all the criteria necessary to obtain the special use needed to have your site receive a special use?
Yes,
And if I ask you the questions that appear in that affidavit, would your answers be the same or substantially similar?
yes.
I have nothing further with Salvador.
Thank you.
Mr. Joseph Ryan, for the record, please state your name, address, and occupation. Whoop, you're
muted, Joe.
You're muted. No, you don't say that on the.
Joseph Ryan, MAI President, LaSalle Appraisal Group with offices at 9455 South Horn Avenue.
Okay, at my request, have you examined the subject site and its surrounding environs?
I have.
Okay. Have you also prepared a consulting report concerning this property?
I did.
And does that report contain your opinions as to the criteria necessary to obtain a special use?
All of them, yes.
Good. And have I also prepared an affidavit for your signature?
Yes.
And does that, if I ask you the questions that appear in the affidavit, would your answers be the same or substantially similar?
Yes.
Okay, I have nothing further, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the board? We have what we need. We will take it under advisement. Okay,
Thank you.
next up, thank you. Next up is calendar numbers 393-22-Z and 394-22-Z. This is 3941 West Wellington.
My name is John Pekarsky. I am an attorney with offices at 55 West Monroe Street, and I have with me the applicant and owner of the property, Matthew Fisher, and his architect, Chris Heimsoth, Heimsoth.
Okay, and if there are any objectors or supporters, please raise your hand and we will get you promoted. Matthew, can you state your name and address, please?
Yes, Matthew Fisher, 60 East Monroe, Unit 3403, Chicago, Illinois, 60603.
And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you. And Chris, have I sworn you in today, Chris?
No, you haven't.
Oh, okay, great. Could you state your name and address, please?
Chris Heimsoth of Absolute Architects, 2113 North Kenmore in Chicago.
And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
I do.
Okay, thank you. And Counselor, there are no objectors. We have reviewed everything, so please do the short form and we'll open it up for board questions.
Okay, I can make this ultra simple simply by incorporating the presentation and findings of 79-18-Z, which is the exact same relief that we sought in that case.
Oh, we can't do that though. You have to, you actually have to put your witnesses on and have them swear to the affidavits. In this case, we can't incorporate another case.
Okay. Please, Mr. Matthew Fisher, please state your name.
Matthew Fisher.
And you're the owner of the property commonly known as 3941 West Wellington.
I am.
And you'd like to increase the density of the building by 1 unit by putting in a basement unit. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And you are also, well, actually have removed a garage at the rear of this location. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And there was a curb cut servicing that garage, which will be removed. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and you are then incorporating into the building a 3-car parking pad at the rear of the site. Is that correct?
That is correct.
We would, however, request a waiver of the rear yard open space since we are now parking on it. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. I have prepared on your behalf an affidavit stating all the criteria necessary to obtain the variations needed for this case.
Yes.
And if I ask you the same questions that appear on the affidavit, would your answers be the same or substantially similar?
Yes.
Okay, I have nothing further for Mr. Fisher. I'll call the architect, Chris Heimsoth. Chris, are you
Yes,
there?
I am.
Okay. You heard my presentation and opening, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and I have prepared on your behalf an affidavit containing all of the criteria necessary to obtain the variations we are seeking. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And if I ask you the questions that appear on the affidavit, would your answers be the same or substantially similar?
Yes, they would be.
I have nothing further for either Matt Fisher or Chris Heimsoth.
Thank you, Counselor. Can you go into a little bit the hardship with regard to, you're adding a dwelling unit to the basement, correct?
Yes, sir.
And could you go into the hardship?
Well, the property in question is in an area that has less than market rate rents. The rentals, I believe, according to the client, are around $900 a month. Is that correct?
Correct.
And as such, in order to maintain rentals at that rate, and yet live and pay rent, pay mortgages, taxes, and utilities, you need the additional unit to break even. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And we have filed a supplemental affidavit indicating that you will break even and be able to maintain moderately priced housing at the subject site if this relief is granted. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Fine. I have no further questions of Matthew Fisher.
Any other questions from the board?
This is Commissioner Esposito. Just to clarify, is the additional parking required or
No,
desired?
it's not. No,
Okay.
it's not. We're taking out a 2-car garage, which was in substandard condition, and we're taking out a driveway, which will no longer be needed. So we are replacing that with 3 cars at the rear and adding, of course, street parking by taking out the driveway.
Curb cut. Okay. Thank you.
All right, any other questions from the board? Okay, we have what we need. We will take this under advisement. Okay, moving along. Next up is 395-22-Z, 396-22-Z, and 397-22-Z. This is 3073 South Lyman.
Well, this is actually 2 sites, 3069 South Lyman and 3073 South Lyman. As you can see by the presentation board. This is a tail end of a block that is has 4 unequal sides. It does have 6,000 square feet, however, or close to it. My client has purchased the property and wishes to divide the property into 2 sites, each to be improved with a single-family dwelling. The first property at 3069 South Lyman contains approximately 2,700 square feet. But its measurements, because it's uneven, each side is uneven. Its measurements are 37 by 84 by 54 by 61.
Okay, hold up, John. If just let me make sure I state it for the record. If there are any objectors or supporters, please raise your hand and we will get you promoted. All right, go ahead, John.
Okay, my client would like to improve this lot, which contains about 2,700 square feet, with a single family home and a 2-car garage. I have with me the client, Bill Tong. Bill, are you there?
Yes, I am.
That's good.
Can you state your name and address, please?
Bill Tong, 523 Hannah Lane, Hinsdale, Illinois, 60521.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Thank you. And hold on, let me just get Christopher Bohm sworn in as well. Can you state your name and address, please?
Yeah, Christopher Bowen, 2453 South Archer Avenue, Chicago.
And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you. All right, proceed, John. And there are no objectors, John, so you can do the short form.
Okay, Bill, I have on your behalf prepared an affidavit concerning the variations and the proof of the variations for 3069 South Lyman. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And if I ask you the same questions that appear on that affidavit, would your answers be the same or substantially similar?
Yes.
Okay. I have nothing further from Bill. And Chris, were you here for my presentation concerning 3069 South Lyman?
Yes.
And I have also prepared an affidavit on your behalf. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that affidavit contains the criteria necessary for the board to make a decision favorable concerning the variations sought. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And if I ask you the same questions that appeared in the affidavit, would your answers be the same or substantially similar?
Yes, they would.
Okay. I have nothing further on 3069. And I could segue into 3073 South Lyman. Again, Bill Tong, please state your name, address.
Bill Tong, 523 Hannah Lane, Hinsdale, 60521.
Okay. Now, Bill, this lot contains 2,869 square feet. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And it's irregularly shaped, having 4 sides, one being 60 feet, one being 61 feet, one being 85 feet, and one being 16 feet. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And we are seeking a front setback from 10.26 feet, which is required, to 4.58 feet. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and we would like to reduce the required east side yard from 5.84 feet to 3.5 feet. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And we would like to reduce the required rear setback from 19.64 feet to 0.66 feet. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And we would like to reduce the required rear yard open space from 229 square feet to 0. Is that correct?
That is correct too.
And this is all caused by the fact that this is a rectangular, oddly shaped, irregular shaped lot. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And I have prepared on your behalf an affidavit as to the criteria necessary to obtain the variations sought. Is that correct?
That is correct also.
And if I ask you the questions that appear in the affidavit, would your answers be the same or substantially similar?
It'll be the same.
Fine. I have nothing more for Bill. And I would call Chris Byrne. Chris, were you here for my opening presentation regarding 3073 South Lyman?
Yes, I was.
Okay, was my opening presentation accurate?
Yes, it was.
Okay, and you've performed the drawings for the subject site, is that correct?
That's correct.
And the variations sought are really caused by the fact that it's an irregular shaped lot, is that correct?
That is correct.
And the client, using your drawings, would like to cause a single family home with 2-car garage to be constructed on the subject site. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And I have on your behalf prepared an affidavit. Is that correct?
Yes, you have.
And if I ask you the same questions that appear in the affidavit, would your answers be the same or substantially similar?
Yes, they would.
Okay, I have nothing further, and I would rest.
All right, thank you, Counselor. Any questions from the board? All right, we have what we need. We're going to take it under advisement.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks, you as well.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is 398-22-Z, 399-22-Z, and 400-22-Z. This is 4907 to 4915 North Paulina.
Okay.
All right. Good evening, Counselor.
Good
do you
evening.
have, if there are any objectors or supporters, please raise your hand and we will get you promoted. Do you have 2 witnesses with you today?
I do,
Okay.
and I see them both.
Okay, great. Foster, could you state your name and address, please?
You're muted, Foster.
Yeah.
Oh, I apologize. Foster Dale, 3717 North Ravenswood, Suite 111, Chicago 60613.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you. And Harold, can you state your name and address, please?
And Joe, you're muted. There you go.
Okay. My name is Joe Hayes, 4043 North Ravenswood, Chicago.
And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. And Counselor, no objectors have raised their hand. We have reviewed everything, so you can do the short form and then we'll get to board questions.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Just to clarify, Harold Joseph Hayes, who we all affectionately call Joe, is the representative of the applicant tonight, and Paulina Street Properties LLC. And Foster Dale is the architect of record for the project. The property in question is 150-foot 0.52 of frontage and 165 feet deep, which provides a tremendous opportunity for this neighborhood. The current use of that property is it's improved with 3 two-story 2 flats, and then at the south end, 1 frame single-family home that's long been vacant. But this is a community where there's been substantial activity with deconversion of multi-unit housing for single-family homes. It's created a shortage in this area. It's driven up prices. And one of the most important desires of the community is to restore the supply of reasonably priced multi-unit housing. And so that's what the applicant has set out to do. What's proposed here is a 32-unit 4-story building, but because it was also important for the neighborhood that the property fit into its surroundings, it's been designed in the style of the common and familiar 1920s Chicago courtyard building. Now, the thing is, if you've given it any thought, it's quite a challenge to make a courtyard building under the zoning ordinance as it currently stands. And so we've been through a long process that involved zoning advisory committee meetings under alderpersons Powar and Martin, multiple community meetings, as well as amending a planned development for what was then known as Bethany Methodist Hospital. And in the middle of that process, the hospital changed hands and it's now owned by Thoric Hospital. So that delayed things. And we rezoned the site in a T1 rezoning. And so the plan is now locked into the zoning as we're presenting it to you. But it also requires a variation to eliminate the rear yard open space. And that, of course, is not because we're not providing open space, but rather because the open space is at the front rather than in the rear yard, as it is for courtyard buildings. We are also seeking to reduce the number of required parking spaces from 32 to 27. We're dealing with a property that is approximately 1,300 feet or less from the Metro North Line station on Ravenswood, and not far from the number 22 Clark Street bus line. But the application predated the new equitable transit-oriented development ordinance. And so we requested the variation. And we're also requesting a variation to eliminate the required off-street loading space. One is required, but would also take up even more of the parking area at the rear of the property. So as I mentioned, this is a very important project for the community because it restores housing stock. Also, the developer committed to provide a minimum of 5 affordable units as for the affordable requirements ordinance, although only 3 are required, and has also committed to provide up to 3 more if subsidies are available. And he's been looking into that. And so with that background, I'm ready to call Joe Hayes. And Joe, you've stated your name and your business address for the record. If you could just tell the board a bit about your development experience and your activity in the neighborhood with the neighborhood real estate and residential properties?
I've been in the neighborhood for 40 years, buying and rehabbing buildings, all vintage buildings like this. We have another one under construction right now at 4046 North Hermitage. They're converting to 20 apartments from an old vacant factory. Our office is at 4043 Ravenswood. We have a staff of about 35 or 40, and we buy buildings and maintain them. We're landlords.
Okay, and just to clarify, many of your buildings are vintage buildings in the sense that they were built, back in the early part of the 20th century, but this one just looks like a vintage building, or will look like a vintage building when it's constructed. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay. I've prepared an affidavit that you've reviewed and signed and submitted. That affidavit provides the factual basis for the various standards that need to be met to be entitled to a variation. But just to highlight a little bit, I wanted to ask you if regarding a reasonable return, is it given the community's desire for a substantial number of units on a site in the neighborhood, but that was designed to look like a courtyard building so that it would fit in, and given the community's desire to keep the housing reasonably priced and also to provide affordable units for low-income residents above and beyond the requirements of the municipal code, would it be possible to have a reasonable return with this project in the absence of these variations?
No.
Okay. In all other respects, have I accurately described the project and matters in your affidavit?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And if you were to testify further, you would testify consistently with that affidavit. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Foster Dale, I know you've testified before this board before, but not today, and there are some new members. Could you please very quickly go through your qualifications as an architect?
Sure. Thank you. I've been principal at Foster Dale Architects for 25 years now, and obtained my license to practice in Illinois in 1989. Before founding my own firm, I worked for several other large, well-respected firms here in Chicago and in Philadelphia, where I went to graduate school.
Okay,
we do multi-unit projects like this, and also custom single-family homes.
And you're the architect of record for this project. You're familiar with its details.
Yes.
The size of the parcel provided a unique opportunity to increase the housing stock and to replace it with 3 2-flats and a frame house with a 32-unit building. Why did you decide to design the building as you did, as a courtyard building rather than just a conventional apartment building going up elsewhere?
Well, I think it ultimately goes back to Joe Hayes and a desire to fit into the neighborhood by emulating this vintage courtyard prototypical building. Okay.
And designing the building this way to meet the community preferences, did that create hardships in particular with respect to the layout of parking and loading areas?
Yes, it did. It made it, the parking was a challenge. There were several challenges to make this work, but we feel like we've threaded several needles in getting here.
Okay, and in your experience, a building that's situated conveniently to transit as this one is, do you normally see that each unit does require a parking space practically, or do parking spaces go unused if the requirements are met?
Right. It's my understanding that most of the time parking spaces are not used because not every tenant or occupant of an apartment actually owns a car. So,
Okay. And you also signed and submitted to this board an affidavit that I prepared for you, providing the factual basis underlying that the standards for variation have been met. Is that correct?
that's correct.
And if you were to testify further, you would testify consistently with that affidavit.
Yes, I would.
Right. Okay. Thank you. That concludes our presentation of our case at this time. And if the board has questions.
Thank you. One question, since you're eliminating the loading berth, how do you plan on move in, move out working?
So Joe and I have talked about this. Ultimately, it will be up to building management to coordinate it, but he anticipates that the moving trucks will use the drive lanes, and building management will have to notify the couple of people who will have parking spaces blocked temporarily. So that the moving trucks will not be on the street nor on either alley.
So just to clarify, the drive lanes are in our parking lot.
That's correct.
Okay. Any questions from the board? All right, we have what we need. We're going to take it under advisement.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you. Okay, next up is 401-22-S. This is 750 North Franklin. If you are here in support or objection, please raise your hand and we will get you promoted. All right. You can see we have Josephina, we've got Counselor Turner, and we've got Joe Ryan. So I think we have everybody we need. Josephina, could you state your name and address, please?
Yes, Josephina Jimenez, 5830 on 108th Place, Chicago Ridge, Illinois.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
I do.
All right, thank you. And Joe Ryan has already been sworn and his expertise has been recognized.
Thank you.
I'm going to read the department's recommendation. This is for calendar number 401-22-S. The Department of Planning and Development recommends approval of the proposed body art service microblading. Counselor Turner, we do not have any objectors, so you are encouraged to do this short form.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Patrick Turner with offices at 33 North LaSalle Street in Chicago. I represent the applicant. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the chairman and the board for their patience and assistance with this marathon session. In any event, I do represent the applicant Estilo Salon LLC, which is currently leasing the subject property at 750 North Franklin, which consists of approximately 1,100 square feet of second floor commercial space. Josephina Jimenez is the manager of the applicant and started her career over 10 years ago doing hair, makeup, extensions, and related services. She attended Paul Mitchell School in Chicago for cosmetology, and for the past 3 years, she has been providing microblading services. She has completed approximately 2,000 plus procedures since that time. She has opened up her own business in 2021 and has expanded her team to 5 microblading specialists. The applicant is seeking a special use to establish a body art service at the subject property, which is located in a DX5 downtown mixed-use district. And of course, we have Josephina and Joe Ryan as our two witnesses. First, I would like to call Mr. Ryan. Joe, if you could state your name and address for the record.
Joseph M. Ryan, President LaSalle Appraisal Group with offices at 9455 South Horn Avenue in Chicago.
Joe, you visited the site and prepared a report regarding your opinions and conclusions, correct?
I did.
You also signed an affidavit summarizing your opinions and conclusions, correct?
Yes.
Based upon your inspection of the property, Joe, and the surrounding neighborhood, is it your opinion that the subject application meets the standards of the requirements for approval of a special use?
Yes.
If you were to continue to testify before this board this evening on this matter, it would be consistent with the opinions and conclusions contained in your report and affidavit, correct?
Yes.
I have no further questions at this time for Mr. Ryan. I would now like to call Josephina Jimenez as our second and final witness. Josephina, could you state your name and address for the record?
Yes, Josephina Jimenez, 5830 108th Place, Chicago Ridge, Illinois.
And Josephina, you heard my intro. Do you agree with the statements that I made in my introduction?
Absolutely.
And you are the manager of Estilo Salon LLC, the applicant here?
Correct.
Josephina, the interior of the property will have 3 beds or stations, a front desk, a reception area, and a restroom, correct?
That is correct.
The hours of operation will be Monday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., correct?
Correct.
You will have approximately 2 to 4 employees depending on your busy time, and will observe all state regulations regarding sanitation and safety, correct?
Correct.
And each provider of the microblading services will be properly licensed, correct?
Correct.
And you also submitted an affidavit in support of this application, correct?
Yes.
If you were to continue testifying in this matter this evening, would it be consistent with the statements contained in your affidavit?
Yes, it would.
I have no further questions for Ms. Jimenez, and I would welcome any questions by the board.
Thank you.
All right, any questions from the board? We have what we need. We're going to take it under advisement.
Thanks again, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thank you. You too. Okay, next up is 402-22-S. This is 1228 to 1230 North Milwaukee, 1210 to 1214 North Ashland.
Good evening, Chairman. Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening, Counselor. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Let me see. Oh, if there are any supporters or objectors, please raise your hand and we will get you promoted.
I should have Janae Moreno, who's the communications director and the representative for Green and Foster, Brian Zizes, the operational manager for the dispensary,
Okay.
Joe Ryan,
Yeah.
our appraiser, Saquon Golar, the security director, Jamie Magalif, our architect, and while they're not part of our packet submitted, they were identified as people available for questions. Ms. Priscilla Foster and Ms. Loretta Foster. Loretta Foster is the social equity majority owner of the LLC.
Okay. Was it which of the Fosters was the
Loretta Foster, and then her sister Priscilla Foster is also an employee who's going to be helping out.
Okay. All right, let me get see here.
And then I know we had the upstairs tenant. He was on in support earlier today. I don't know if he could stay
Is
on.
that Jeff Park?
Yeah, that's me. I'm here.
Okay, great. You're here in support?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, let me get everybody sworn. Let's start with
Mr. Chairman, one more thing. We were supposed to
Yeah.
have Nick Lozzetto on. I don't know if he's on from the Alderman's office.
Let's see here. Anybody from the first ward?
They provided another letter in support. We had gone through a zoning map amendment and we got a letter of support for that. And then for this, they provided a letter of support as well.
Okay. All right, I don't see.
That's totally fine. As long as
All
you
right.
got the letter of
Yeah,
support. That's
yeah,
that's what I wanna make sure.
yeah, and we do have it in the file.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let me get your witnesses sworn. Jean, can you state your name and address, please?
Yes, my name is Janae Moreno, Moreno. My home address is 4940 South East End Avenue, Chicago, 60615.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you. Brian, can you state your name and address, please?
Brian Zeises, Zises. I'm at 5111 North Walcott, 60640.
And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
I do. Thank you.
Thank you. Saquon, could you state your name and address, please?
Saquon Golar, 12915 South May Street, Calumet Park, Illinois, 60827.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I do.
Jamie, can you state your name and address, please?
Yes, Jamie Magaliff, 311 Florence Avenue, Evanston, Illinois, 60202.
And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you. Loretta, could you state your name and address, please?
2844 West 83rd Place, Chicago, 60652.
And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
Yes.
And Priscilla, could you state your name and address, please?
Hi, Priscilla Foster, 7826 South Luella Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 60649.
And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you. Now,
Chairman, this is tech support. Can you give me just 1 minute pause? There seems to be something wrong with the live stream.
Yeah, okay.
Give me 1 second.
Sure. Feel like we need some Jeopardy music.
We are now good, and just thank you for Nick Z for letting me know. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. So we're good to go now?
Yes, Chairman, we are good.
All right, thank you. All right, allow me to read the Department of Planning and Development's recommendation. This is for calendar number 402-22-S. The Department of Planning and Development recommends approval of the proposed adult use cannabis dispensary, provided 1, the special use is issued solely to the applicant, Green and Foster LLC. 2, all on-site customer queuing occurs within the building. And 3, and the development is consistent with the design and layout of the plans and documents dated October 12th, 2022, prepared by Steep Architecture Studio. Counselor, we do not have objectors, so you are free to do the short form, and then we will open it up to board questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to provide some background, we're pleased to be in front of you this evening for Green and Foster's second application for a special use. They were approved for one at the beginning of the year for 2114 South Wabash, and with the multiple licenses that they won during the lottery, there'll probably be more. We're here before you today to present the case for Green and Foster's proposed special use to establish an adult use cannabis dispensary at the property that is commonly known as 1212 North Ashland Avenue. I know we can walk through some of the details and there may be questions, but to keep this brief because I understand the time, Janae Moreno, are you there? Janae Moreno, my apologies.
Yes.
Janae, could you, are you the communications director for Green and Foster?
Yes.
And in that capacity, what are you in charge of for Green and Foster?
I'm sorry, repeat that again.
I'm sorry. Could you list your job duties?
Yes. Primarily, I am working with Green and Foster to ensure that the social equity applicant is fully engaged, involved, and understand all of the processes for this dispensary and their licensing. Additionally, I work to ensure that community residents and decision makers of the areas that we're proposing to do dispensaries are aware of the project and work with them around concerns that they may have.
And community engagement is an essential part of that, correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, you were provided a copy of the findings of fact that we submitted to the board prior to this proceeding, correct?
Correct.
The affidavit here today?
I'm sorry, you cut off.
I'm sorry. My apologies. And as part of those findings of fact, you prepared an affidavit comprising and delineating your testimony before the board here today, correct?
Correct.
And if you were to testify here today, you would testify consistent with that affidavit?
Yes.
All right. I'd like to move on to Joe Ryan.
I'm here.
Joe, good evening. You are the certified appraiser hired by Green and Foster to assess the special use standards for the proposed location?
Yes.
And you prepared a report and an affidavit in support of that testimony?
I did, yes.
And is it your finding that the special use standards are met by Green and Foster's proposed special use?
Yes, they are.
And consistent with that affidavit and that report, if you were to continue testifying here today, you would testify in the same vein, correct?
Yes.
All right. Can we go to Saquon Golar? Saquon, are you there?
Hey guys, sorry about that. I'm here.
Not at all. Not at all. You are the, Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry. We recognize Joe's expertise.
Yes, we do.
Thank you, sir. Saquon, you are
detected at Slim's house.
You are the president of Rescue 8 Special Events and Training, correct?
Correct.
And you're a licensed, and that entity and you are a licensed private security contractor?
Correct.
And you provide security for Dispensary 33's 2 locations, cannabis locations here in the city?
Correct.
And you reviewed the findings of fact and the affidavit that you submitted with those findings of fact that we presented to the board?
Correct.
And if you were to testify here today, you would testify consistent with that testimony, correct?
Correct.
All right. I'd like to go to Jamie Magaluf, please. And Mr. Chairman, but before we get into Jamie, she's testified before the board on multiple occasions and been recognized as an expert.
Refresh my memory. What's the specialty?
She's an architect.
Oh, we don't recognize architects. It's not necessary.
Okay. Jamie, you're a licensed architect in the state of Illinois,
Yes, I am.
and you are in charge of the proposed special use design for the adult use cannabis dispensary at 1212 North Ashland.
Yes.
And how many cannabis dispensaries have you designed?
Probably upwards of 30 to 40 at this point.
Would you say you're familiar with cannabis dispensary layout and design?
Yes, I am.
All right. And we attached a copy of your CV to the proposed findings of fact.
Correct.
And in addition, you reviewed those findings of fact, and you also reviewed the affidavit submitted comprising your testimony before the board here today.
Yes.
And if you were to continue to testify here today, you would testify consistent with that affidavit.
Yes.
Thank you. Brian Zeiss, please.
Yep.
Brian, you are the operational manager for Dispensary 33's 2 locations here in the city.
Yes, I am.
You are also the manager of D33 Management.
Yes, I am.
And we prepared but you reviewed the findings of fact we submitted to the board prior to this hearing.
I did, yes.
And those findings of fact contained an affidavit delineating your testimony before the board.
They did, yes.
And if you were to testify here today, you would testify consistent with that affidavit?
I would, yes.
All right. Mr. Chairman, I know there are generally questions about the operational nature of a dispensary and our unloading and loading, and I'm happy to go through any of those questions with everybody, but given the time.
It's in your materials, so we have reviewed it. We don't have to rehash what's in the materials already.
Thank you, sir. Then I believe that introduced all our witnesses.
Okay, let's open it up for questions from the board.
All right, this is Commissioner Toya. So who's the owner? I mean, obviously it's Green and Foster. What is Ms. Moreno? Who's the social equity partner in this? I'm confused.
Commissioner, if I can sum it up very quickly, I think Janae Moreno introduced Loretta and Priscilla to the Dispensary 33 team. Green and Foster comprises of Loretta Foster and Paul Lee, who's our third partner in Dispensary 33. They are the only 2 members.
But they're not here, right?
Loretta's here, but Janae Moreno is the authorized representative for the dispensary. She's here to.
But Loretta is the owner then?
Loretta is the 51% owner and manager of the.
I need to ask her questions, is who I need to ask.
She's here.
Hello.
She is sworn in.
Okay, I need to ask her questions then.
Okay. Go ahead.
Loretta, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you?
I'm good. You?
Good. Thank you. A little long day, but I'm doing all right. Couple questions. So you're the owner. Do you have an agreement to sell your interest in this dispensary?
No, not currently.
Not currently. Okay. Thank you for being honest, because you are sworn, so I appreciate that. Who is funding the build out of this, Loretta?
My partner is Zach and Brian. Well, no, it's Paul Lee. Sorry, I've been working so closely with Zach and Brian on a one-on-one basis, but my actual contract is with Paul Lee.
And they're the ones putting up the money for the funding of this building?
Yes.
And you own at least 51% of this?
Yes.
But you're not putting up no money at all. They're putting up all the money.
No, I'm not.
Okay. And then who's on the lease? Who put the deposit down on the lease?
I
No,
did.
that was handled by the management team that's working with me, my partners. They
Yeah.
should be
He
able
knows
to
where
answer
I'm
that.
going. He knows
I
exactly
know where
where
you're going. I know, I don't have the paperwork
my
in front of me
personal
to tell
guarantee
you
on
the
the lease,
name, the
Commissioner.
specific name.
It's
No,
my-
I don't have.
It's my
Okay.
personal guarantee on the lease.
There
me.
has to be a personal guarantee. So I'm just trying to peel back the onion here.
There's no, I'm happy to peel back. It's my personal guarantee and the build out is being funded by Paul
Good,
Lee.
I'm glad. I hope other lawyers are watching this because I get very consistent on the questions I ask in. So as we go forward here, month in and month out, I'm going to be asking these same questions to everybody. So it'd be great if counselors in the future already answered these questions so I don't have to peel the layers. Like if Counselor Brandit would already put that out there, I wouldn't be asking these questions. So I hope other counselors know this as we go forward. So you're the one that put your personal guarantee on the lease,
Correct.
not
And
Loretta,
that's-
but she owns
and-
51%.
Correct.
I'm confused. You know, I used to run businesses. It's usually the people that own the majority of the businesses are ones that usually are the general partners.
Well,
So I wanted to learn more about this because I have been in business before and I'm just not used to the one that owns 51% or more not being the guarantee on the lease. Go
I'm
deeper on that for me.
I'm happy to explain.
Thank you.
Okay, so as I said before, Janae introduced the Fosters to the Dispensary 33 team. This Green and Foster is 51% Loretta, 49% my partner Paul Lee. I put a personal guarantee on the building, on the lease with Paul Levy, and Paul Levy and I and my management, the management of this dispensary will be with the dispensary D33 management. And so Paul was comfortable with that, and I'm comfortable with my personal guarantee because I'm going to be helping run the management of this of the dispensary.
Yeah,
Loretta-
I mean, I understand you're doing that and I get that, but I'm surprised you
Can I
didn't have
continue,
Loretta
Commissioner?
sign with you.
Can I continue, please? As far as the build out goes, there will be a dilution event, but in no instance will Miss Foster be diminished less than double digit of the company, or will, in no instance, is there any procedure by which she does not retain her right as the manager? So she
Okay,
will.
but let me
always
ask my
be the
question
manager.
now. Can I ask my question? I'm the one voting, you're not, okay? So let me ask my question. You put yourself down as the guarantee.
Correct.
Great. But you didn't have her put herself down with you? I don't get that. I just don't get that from a business point. I get why you're doing it. You might have better credit. You might have a better, more cash flow and all that. But you didn't want her to be on there with you? And Loretta, you didn't want to be on there with him? You're giving up all this power for him to
As
have
the
everything?
guarantor, wait, as the guarantor of the lease, what power is being given up?
Commissioner, if I may, Brian?
Well, she owns 51%. You know where I'm going. Don't
I
play dumb
don't.
with me. You know exactly where I'm going with this.
Commissioner, if I may?
You're putting up the money and she's owning 51%, but you're
I
going to buy
told
her
you, I
out.
said that there would be a dilution event. I said there would be a dilution event and she will be diluted, but not below double digits. And that is.
But
our-
she will be diluted. Say that one more time, please.
She will be diluted. You can't put up all
Okay.
this money, but dilution doesn't mean she loses control. She's diluted, and the level of dilution, you can ask her, how does she feel about it? Is it fair?
I'm doing this from a city point of view, okay? From aldermen that have talked to me, from City Hall that has talked to me to go deep on these questions, Brian. Do you
And I'm happy to
understand?
answer them.
All right.
But there's no way to
But
get a
right now,
decent
she's
property
51%,
without having
but
a
she
personal
will
guarantee.
lose some of that 51% as we go forward because you're the guarantee and you're coming up with the money to do the build out. Just humor me here, educate me, bring it down to the street level.
Commissioner, if I may?
Yes.
Brian? So Commissioner, we are working within the parameters of the program that was designed at the state level. It was very clear at the state level for social equity applicants to have an opportunity that they would need this kind of financial backing. There is no way the Fosters, nor myself, or other social equity applicants that have aspired to participate in this opportunity could have come up with the kind of resources that would be necessary, nor do we have the experience to get the type of investors necessary to, again, meet the parameters of even the aspiration to be part of the lottery. So I do know and hear of all of the concerns that these aldermen have shared. We've come before them on other properties prior. And we also went through a extended time at the state level to figure out how best to move a program that would afford social equity and applicants such as the Foster sisters an opportunity in this growing and booming industry. So we do understand the intent and the core of your question, but the reality as you asked to come to the street is, without these kind of backers, social equity applicants would not have an opportunity.
I get that. I just want to make sure Ms. Foster is getting what she's supposed to be getting and that she's gonna, because she's gonna lose. And I would really like to know as we go further down how much ownership she would have as we go further down the road, because I don't know. I want to see this house of cards here. I just want to know that Ms. Foster, who won this lottery, is not being, is being taken care of. That's because she's the one that has it. You know what I mean? And I want these, and you keep going to the state. I wasn't appointed by the state. I was appointed by the mayor. Okay. I wasn't appointed by the governor. So I'm asking these questions because I want to know, and I want it on record.
Okay. And if I may, Commissioner, you've asked the question twice of Ms. Foster, if she can have a moment to respond, whether or not she believed that the processes that she has been engaged with to date is something that she abides by or feels.
Okay.
Loretta, can you unmute? Do you hear us? You're muted.
Okay, I unmuted. The only thing I like to say in all of this is, yes, I have these licenses. If I don't have the knowledge, the resources, the experience to do anything with them. And that's why me and my sister are going to need somebody to help us guide us through this process. Right now I'm feeling like, are these licenses a burden to me right now? Because I'm going to need someone to help me to the next level. I know that I'm not out of pocket right now for any money. So you keep talking about what I'm going to lose or what I'm going to lose, but I'm also looking at what I'm going to gain, And I think I'm going to gain a lot more than what I'm going to lose in the long term. Because me and my sister are trying to look at a way where we can build scholarships for our nieces, nephews, and grandkids and great grandkids. We try to just find a way to build a little something to pass on. And right now we don't have the resources to do it on our own. And so we turn to Janae and Zach and Brian to try to help us, to get to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we're going to lose some, as you say, the dilution in the long term, but we're not out of pocket right now up front. We couldn't have got on our feet and got these licenses off and running on our own. There's no way.
No, I get that. I was just wondering if you also talk to, there's other people out there with capital, the Black and brown community as well. So I'm just wondering how you ended up with these folks with the capital.
Through association with this beautiful woman, Janae. Just happened, my sister used to work with her through a nonprofit. It's just their paths happen to cross.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm hearing, understanding, because I know there's other people from, people with capital from the South and West Side that would like to invest in this as well. And I'm just wondering, some of these people don't even live in this city. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to, the investors, not you, Loretta. It's not you at all.
I don't have those kind of connections.
I see.
Right? I didn't even have the connection to Janae. She was out of my league, to be honest. I'm a retired disabled veteran. And I work as a home care worker. I don't have those kind of connections, even though I'm active in my community. Now I go to the alderman meetings. I'm that little annoying person at the meetings who did their research and got questions too.
Please
I go
stop.
to the CAP meetings.
Please stop.
I'm involved in my neighborhood. But
Please stop.
I don't have
Somebody
that kind of
step
money
up.
to get us up and running.
Stop her.
I don't have the connection to get us up and running.
If I may?
Oh, I'm sorry, my mother
Please.
called. That means it's an emergency.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay, we good?
Okay.
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 I'm sorry,
So
Ms.
if I
Latoya,
may,
but,
the
Just mute.
question of how they got connected to the Zeises and Paul Lee. I will tell you that I have had long-term relationship with Brian Zeises, even prior to his work at the Illinois Housing Development Authority. I knew him through the affordable housing work that I've done and the advocacy that I have moved forward for many of the Black and Brown communities around the city of Chicago in fair housing and affordable housing equity. I continue to do that work today. And when this process came to bear, I will tell you that a number of people that I know from these communities approached me and said, how can I help them figure out a way to participate? So you're right, there were many groups and organizations who put together their own programs or incubators or whatever sexy word one wants to use.
Mhm.
But I go with those that I know and those that I have trust. I have seen Brian at the trenches with us around affordable housing and equity for fair housing, both as a person who worked with a marketing company that did that kind of work with nonprofit, as well as on his own volunteering in those communities. I've over the past 20, no more than that, a good 20, 25 years, if not longer, we've grown a relationship of trust and understanding and commonality. And so when I bring, and it wasn't just the foster sisters I brought to the table, when I bring people to the table, I afforded them the ability to speak directly to them, to understand their focus and vision, and to decide whether or not they believe they can work with them as well, and hopefully grow the same trust in moving forward.
And Ms. Moreno, are you a part ownership in this as well?
I am a part ownership in the management, not in the dispensary.
Right. So you were the one that brought everyone together is what you're saying?
I was not the only one. There were others who participated in the same way. But yes, I was able to bring those that showed interest to Brian and Zachary, D33, to hear about their program and their vision and focus on how to make the social equity licensing opportunities work. And let me say, there were those that liked what they heard and stayed. There were those who didn't like they heard and moved on.
Got it. All right.
Appreciate. I don't know a better way to go about doing this. I really don't. And if there was one, I would have taken it.
All right. I asked my questions. I got my answers.
Any other questions from the board?
I just have a couple questions. I want to make sure I understand the structure here. So the management team is Ms. Priscilla Foster and then D33, is that right?
Priscilla, Loretta and Priscilla. Loretta is the 51%er. Her sister is going to be helping us. The management team with the cannabis experience are the three principals of Dispensary 33, and we formed a management company.
And does that management company have a written agreement with Green and Foster to manage the site?
Yes, it does.
And does that management agreement provide for a share of revenues in the dispensary?
It provides a fee. Right now, it provides a flat fee, I believe, but it is essentially trying to be close to a 4% gross, just so you know, but it's a flat fee.
What is the flat fee?
I don't have it in front of me, but like I said, it's in the ballpark of a 4% gross.
And when you say 4% gross of what?
Revenue.
And then when it comes to profit sharing of the dispensary itself, Green and Foster, are you familiar with those terms?
I am familiar. There's no profit sharing. The management company has no profit share. It takes of just the fee.
I understand. I was actually asking how ultimately revenues from this business might make their way to the owners of the dispensary Green and Foster.
They'll take disbursements as any other LLC will. The fees of running the company as the management company are 4%.
And so the management fee goes first, and then whatever's left over would be the profits that the owners make.
Correct.
You got it.
Correct, but it's a 4% fee. And I'm happy to put a 4% fee up against any other management company that comes before this board. And you should certainly continue to ask that question as well, commissioners.
Oh, rest assured we will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sir, you got something?
Any other
I'm
questions?
fine for now. I'm fine for now. Thank you.
All right.
All right. All right. I don't have any questions.
All right, Mr. Chairman, we've come before you today to discuss the special use standards. I believe the testimony in the record from the proposed findings of fact and the submitted affidavits show that the special use complies with the applicable standards of the zoning ordinance. It will be in the interest of public convenience and won't have a significant adverse impact on the general welfare of the neighboring community. It's compatible with the character of the surrounding area in terms of site planning, building scale, and project design. It's compatible with the character of the surrounding area in terms of operational consistics, such as hours of operation, outdoor lighting, noise, traffic generation, and given the CTA locality, it's designed to promote pedestrian safety and comfort.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate everybody coming in today. We're going to take this matter under advisement.
You still have a supporter. I don't know if you.
Oh yeah, thank you, Mr. Zeisis, for reminding me of that. Jeff Park, if you could unmute and then state your name and address, please.
Jeff Park, 2222 West Farragut Avenue, Chicago, 60625.
And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
I do.
Okay, great. Here, please express your support.
I'm just thankful that anything is moving in downstairs. I've talked about it with the owner and the brokers for many months. What kind of business could be sustainable there. I guess for selfish reasons, I'm just glad that it won't be boarded up plywood covered in handbills and graffiti. Polonia Triangle needs all the help it can get. And to have a business with security, I think, is an asset to that neighborhood. And it's sustainable. It's been empty for years. So I only see upside in this.
All right, thank you for expressing your support. With that, we are going to take this matter under advisement.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and now we are at the last one of the day, which is 285-22-S. This is 3614-16 North Lincoln. If you are in support or objection, please raise your hand and we will get you promoted.
Hi, Commissioner. This is Adam Kingsley. I'm the attorney. Bob Reed and Tom Smith are my witnesses, but I think we also have some interested parties who are in favor. They're probably not going to testify, but if you can let them in, I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely. Let me see here. All right, I do see, I see Tom Smith. I see I see Bob Reed as well. And then I see Lee and Dan Peilman. Are you here in support?
Yeah, they're here in support.
Okay. And then I see let me see a Marianne. Hold on, no, Matt Lovell.
Marianne is here in support, as is Matt and Tiffany Lovell, as are Matt and Tiffany Lovell.
Okay. Okay. If there's anybody in objection, please raise your hand and we'll get you promoted. Or if you've already been promoted, now would be the time to speak. And just let us know that you're here in objection. But I think that accounts for everybody. Let me get your witnesses sworn, and then I'll read the department's recommendation.
Sure. So Tom and Bob.
Yeah, Bob, could you state your name and address, please?
Hi there. Greetings, everybody. My name is Robert Reed. Everybody calls me Bob. I'm the pastor of Grace Chicago Church. Have been for 20 years now. I live at 2847 West Palmer in Logan Square, apartment 1E.
And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you. And Tom Smith, could you state your name and address, please?
Yes, my name is Tom Smith. I live at 3645 North Mozart in Chicago, 60618.
And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Tom, is your video,
I don't know why it's not working.
All right, well, we'll listen to your voice.
Okay.
All right, now let me read the department's recommendation. This is the recommendation for calendar number 285-22-S. The Department of Planning and Development recommends approval of the proposed 100-seat religious assembly in an existing one-story building, provided 1, the special use is issued solely to the applicant, Grace Chicago Church, care of Bob Reed, pastor. 2, the development is consistent with the design and layout of the floor plan dated July 20th, 2022, prepared by Nathan Bowman Design, with existing building facade, windows, and materials to remain unchanged. And 3, the applicant maintains clear, non-reflective windows on the street-facing building facade, which shall not be painted over, darkened, or obstructed in any way to allow clear views of indoor space and/or display areas in accordance with the pedestrian street standards per section 17-3-0504 of the Chicago zoning ordinance. And Councilor Kingsley, we do not have any objectors on this one, and you are free to do the short form, and we'll open it up for board questions.
I will. All right, so this is a special use permit for Grace Chicago Church, 3614 to 16 Lincoln Avenue. We are obviously a religious institution. This is a B zoning district. Therefore, we need a special use permit to operate in the B zoning district. Bob, you're pastor of Grace Chicago Church?
Yes.
All right, and in connection with the application in this matter and with the findings of fact, you prepared an affidavit?
Yes.
And if called to testify, you would testify consistently with those affidavits?
Absolutely.
Okay. And just tell us in 30 seconds who Grace Chicago Church is and why this is a good building for you.
Grace Chicago Church hosted its first public worship service in December of 2002. We've been around 20 years now. We've moved around a lot. We rented space from some great theaters, supported them along the way, and 2 schools. We're at Nettlehorst right now in East Lakeview. We've been looking for a space to call our own for quite some time, and we came across this space and just felt like everything about it worked well for us. It's close to the geographic midpoint of our congregation. The aesthetics of the building, the functionality of the building work well for our community of faith. The mission of Grace Chicago, I just want to get this out there because it's relevant to why we're here in the city and why we want to deepen our roots in the city, is to actively seek the good of individuals and the welfare of the city. And we've maintained that commitment to that mission for 20 years now, partnering with many not-for-profits in Chicago, with countless volunteer hours, meals delivered. We've done refugee resettlement. We partnered with Howard Brown Health Center, the Broadway Youth Center in the past. And if we are able to get this special use permit and get into this building, I assure you that our congregation will work tirelessly for the good and the flourishing of all those in the North Center neighborhood and nearby.
Thanks, Bob.
Happy to answer questions.
All right. Well, I'd like to call Tom Smith. Tom, you're an urban planner,
Yes, I am.
and you actually worked many years for the City of Chicago Department of Planning, right?
I did, and for the Chicago Zoning Board. And I was the acting zoning administrator and an assistant commissioner in the Department of Planning for over 10 years.
Okay. And I asked
for
you
for the record, the board recognizes his expertise.
and I asked you to prepare a planner's report in this matter.
Yes.
And one of the things you did is determine whether or not the application met the standards for the special use permit.
Yes, this is a positive addition to the neighborhood. No adverse impacts on surrounding properties. It's compatible. It's a building that has been there for decades. It will be compatible with the existing uses and existing structures in the neighborhood.
All right, and you would testify further consistent with your report if I asked you to.
Yes.
Okay. That's it. I think, again, I think everybody else on the call are avid supporters, including the existing owner, where the contract purchaser, the existing owner obviously would like this transaction to go through. But given time, I don't think it's necessary to hear from them. I'll take any questions that the board might have.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the board?
This is Commissioner Esposito. I have two probably quick questions. Can you describe how the building was most recently used?
Bob or Mary Ann, I believe, is the existing owner. Mary Ann, if you want to talk about existing use of the building.
Well, let me get her sworn in then,
Okay.
because she hasn't. Mary Ann, could you state your name and address, please?
Mary Ann Doherty, Hoy, 3620 North Magnolia, Chicago 60613.
And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you. Please proceed.
I purchased the building for my company, River West Meeting Associates, in approximately 2003 or 2004. At that point, we had about 22 people working full-time in the office, and we were considering expansion too. We took a building that was sort of a blighted building and had been the home of Betty's Resale, where she would she used for storing her resale items, and her business.
Gosh. I remember Betty's, so I
You
can
remember Betty's? Yeah. So you should see what I bought. It was quite the building. And anyway, with my business is a corporate meeting planning business. And as you can imagine, the last 2 years have been very difficult because most of our clients have not held meetings. So our staff contracted quite a bit during that time. And in addition to that, a lot of the people that worked for me moved to their home cities where they can work remotely, and they're not coming back. They're still remote employees. So now on any given day, the most people I have in a 6,200 square foot building is about 8 people max, sometimes as little as 2 or 3. Not only do we not need the space, but the taxes have become so exorbitant on the building that it's just not sustainable for a small business.
Okay, thank you. And then my other question relates to parking. Can you describe the parking needs of your congregation and
I
the
think
availability?
it's important to realize that this building is 100 feet from the Brown Line stop at Addison. Okay, from the entrance of the Brown Line stop at Addison. It's also important to realize that the principal operating hours of this church will be on Sunday when the post office across the street is closed, when Tiger Auto Repair is closed, when Elliott's Auto Repair is closed, when the commercial printing company is closed also. So there is no parking here. The zoning code authorizes 0 parking because this is a P street, and it also authorizes greatly reduced parking because this is a transit-oriented zone, a transit-oriented district. So no parking is really expected by the city or required by the city.
Very good. Thank you.
All right, any other questions from the board? I think we have what we need. We're going to take it under advisement.
All right, thanks, and have a good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. You as well. Okay, that was the last matter on the call. So I move that we convene into closed session pursuant to sections 2C4 and 2C21 of the Open Meetings Act for the purposes of 1, considering the evidence and testimony presented in open session, and 2, reviewing our closed session minutes as required by section 2.06 of the Open Meetings Act. For those viewing by live stream, we will return from our closed session and the live stream will continue at that point. Commissioner Toya seconds. Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, we are in closed session. Okay, I move that we return to open session. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, we are back. First, I'd like to report that in closed session, we determined that our written closed session minutes do not require confidentiality and are available for public inspection. We will therefore be approving our written closed session minutes next month, and they will be available to the public after their approval. However, the verbatim recordings of closed session do still require confidential treatment. Second, we will now vote. Note that any motion to approve a special use will be tied to the recommendations of the department and any additional conditions read by me. First, I move to approve all continuance requests to the dates stated by me. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters stated are continued. I move to approve all withdrawal requests. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the withdrawals are approved. All right, I move to approve application for calendar number 320-21-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 342-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 343-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 344-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 345-22-S and 346-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
No.
Commissioner McDonald,
No.
Commissioner Toya.
No.
I vote no, the matter is denied. I move to approve application for calendar number 347-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 348-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Recused.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 349-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 350-22-S and 351-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 352-22-Z and 353-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 355-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 356-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 357-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 358-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 359-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 360-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Recused.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 361-22-S and 362-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 363-22-S and 364-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 365-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
No.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 366-22-Z, 367-22-Z, 368-22-Z, 369-22-Z, and 370-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 371-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner
Yes.
McDonald,
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Commissioner
I'm ahead of
Toya.
myself. Yes, I was ahead of myself.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 372-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 373-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 374-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 375-22-S and 376-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. Move to approve application for calendar number 377-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 378-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 380-22-Z and 381-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 382-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 383-22-Z, 384-22-Z, 385-22-Z, and 386-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 387-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 388-22-S and 389-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 390-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 392-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 393-22-Z and 394-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 395-22-Z, 396-22-Z, and 397-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 398-22-Z, 399-22-Z, and 400-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 401-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald.
I'm sorry, which number?
This is 401-22-S.
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 402-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yeah. Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
No.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 403-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 285-22-S. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. Okay, I move to approve the written resolution containing findings of fact consistent with the votes of the board for board calendar numbers 32-22-S, 221-22-Z, 222-22-Z, and 223-22-Z. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the resolutions are approved. I move to approve the written resolutions containing findings of fact consistent with the votes of the board for the board's September 16, 2022 regular meeting. Commissioner Toya seconds, Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes, the written resolutions are approved. I move we adjourn the meeting.
Can I just, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Did we get 391-22-Z?
Hold on. hold up.
I don't think we voted on them as a pair. I could be mistaken.
391-22-Z was withdrawn.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. That is why I did not mention it, because Councilor Pleco withdrew it when she presented her case.
Right, my mistake. I didn't cross it out on my list. Thank you.
No worries. Okay. I move that we adjourn the meeting. What a long meeting it's been. Commissioner Toya seconds. Commissioner Esposito.
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald.
Yes.
Commissioner Toya.
Yes.
I vote yes. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for being here with us today and sticking it out throughout this meeting. Good night. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
you.